Hello, welcome back. Before us, we can see a Bifora 115. See what I did there? Anyway, this is my own personal watch. I quite like this. It has a in-house Bifora movement, caliber 115, hence the name on the dial. And it's a really nice little skin diver. It's got a plated case, which you can see some scars, but I don't mind. I don't wear it enough for that to deteriorate or get any worse, and maybe one day I will send it off to be replated, but for now I just kind of wear it as it is. I don't know what it is that makes me go for this watch, but I think it's pretty cool to have a fully in-house German-made watch in the collection as well. It's there's other things with fully stainless steel case and probably nicer movement and whatnot, but it's just the design, the dial, the patina on this one. It was a real rescue project back in the day. It was, I think there's a blog post on my website mitka.co.uk actually servicing this one. It was pretty rusty, and yeah, so it was a proper rescue project, and I've been wearing it a lot and enjoying it. The reason for this video is that I'm going to service another one. So this watch I bought probably around the same time as the other one, and we're probably looking for almost 5 years back in time. Pretty much similar condition, but missing the bezel. But how can you not resist this fantastic white dial, kind of like a pearl silver white, but yeah, no, very cool with blued hands, fantastic patina on the luminous compound, and the square markers. Really like this, but yeah, it's been missing a bezel, so it's been on the back burner for a long time in the drawer, but just last week I got a hold of this, and what it has is a pretty cool dial, but unfortunately, as you can see, it's lost a bit of its lettering, the parts for the 115 and the 17 rubies down there. So this one is the donor watch, and nice hour hand if I ever need one that goes the same as this one, but yeah, I figured it would be really cool to have these two in the drawer next to each other, so I can choose, a little bit on a whim what I want. Another nice thing is that the bezel insert on the donor has actually, I don't know how much you can see it, but it's faded, which is going to look really nice on this white dial. Well, first thing we're going to do, we're going to open the case back, have a quick look at the movement, and we're going to take it apart in time lapse and put it back together again. There's the movement. So we can get that in focus. There we go. Actually looks to be in really good condition, which is a positive surprise, because sometimes when I open these cases up, it's a lot more work than I expected. That doesn't look worn, everything, the screw heads, everything, really nice. I wonder if this has ever had a service before, or if this will be the first time. But anyway, that's a really good way to start. This is the Bifora caliber 115. It's not a spectacular movement, but it's not a shabby movement neither. Quite nice finishing, decent finish on the bridges, high polished beveled edge going around, which is nice. Balance looks a little bit crude compared to the rest of the movement here. Don't know why, that's just the way it's made. They have some kind of different shock protection. I cannot remember what it's called, I might look that up for later. And a starburst. Actually, if you could recognize that shock protection, please comment. And if not, I'll see if I'll dig it out. And the starburst kind of finish on the ratchet wheel, we could live with that, that's pretty good. But yeah, I'm going to take this apart in time lapse, and we'll try and put it back together in real time. got the shock protection jewels back onto the balance, and I can see that the balance is moving freely, and that's good. That's a good start. I fitted the mainspring into the barrel, as you might have seen on the photo before this, and all the parts have been cleaned. I've also reinforced the back of the hands, as you can see in this clip. Now I quite like the color on the hands, on the original compound here. Fortunately the compound is very brittle and it's just about to fall out, and a little trick you can do is mix up something of somewhat similar color, go on the back, smear it all over the hands like so. This new compound on the back will glue together with the old compound and stabilize it. This is a good way, and I've done it on a many a watch, to preserve the original luminous compound, if that one wishes to do, like I do in this case, because I think the color is very nice. It's a very thin layer of compound on the back. As you'll see later on when I turn it around, you're not going to see it on the original compound, and that will last for many more years. And I've put the or I've taken the bezel off the case, and I've also actually put a little drop of luminous compound in the bezel where it used to be, and have since falled out. So I don't know, that will just give a finished look of the watch. Now I'm going to start by fitting the gear train. Now I'm going to fit the gear train. I fitted this screw back in, I didn't want to confuse it with another screw. Okay, there's some old scars from fingerprints in here. Not much I can do about that now. Put a little bit of oil in the barrel hole, on the barrel arbor hole, and we can start with the center wheel. So, tiny droplet of, that's a bit large. Thinner, there we go. There. Very nicely jeweled, this watch. So it's only 17 jewels, but still nice position of the jewels. You see the for the center wheel, you got a little jewel in here on the top and the bottom. Not bad. I would of course like to have seen a barrel jewel for the barrel bushing. That would have made a huge difference in longevity on these movements, but this one, fortunately for me, is not worn. It's actually very good condition, so I can just pop it back together. Sometimes you have to rebush the barrel arbor bushings. Now we got the third wheel goes in here. We got the sweep seconds wheel here, will be the fourth wheel, like this, and we will have the escape wheel. Comes in here. I almost forgot. This does not come in yet. We have, it's a very unusual thing on this movement, and I remember this from last time. You have a loose sitting hole or jewel that comes in here, and it's not riveted, it's not pressed in or riveted, it's loose fitting. They're all like this, and then your center wheel comes up there. A rather unusual feature, but that's the way it is. Got the gear train bridge. Got the barrel bridge. Gonna get a little drop of oil there on the side. You can see there's no wear in that, which is very nice. I'm now going to secure or push this down under the microscope to make sure all the pivots are lined up in the jewel holes. Now we got all the pivots lined up in the jewel holes. We can secure the gear train bridge. Very nice. Next I'm going to secure the barrel bridge. In this case you can doesn't matter which one you do first. Usually I do the barrel bridge first, but for some reason I decided to do the gear train bridge first. So this movement, no particular reason for it. That's just the way it goes today. I have to say, very nice condition this movement compared to some of the things I've been working on lately. So I'm now fitting, I don't need to fit this yet, but I've already oiled it, so I'll fit it in. This is the crown wheel. So I'll oil to let that spin around. And there will be a left-hand screw to secure that. There's no markings on this screw to tell you that's left-hand screw, so you're just going to have to guess. I prefer when they do a marking on that, to be honest. Now the click comes in here. The click comes here, which is a little unusual. The click is actually engaging with the ratchet. Got the ratchet, the click. Anyway, the ratchet here is engaging with the crown wheel rather than the traditional ratchet wheel. So there you go. There's been some pitting on the ratchet wheel, or whatever you want to call it, wheel at some point. That's the only sign of actually anything on this movement, so that's very clean. Now I'm going to oil it. I'm going to do that under the microscope, and then we're going to turn the movement around and fit the setting and winding mechanism. The movement has been oiled. We're now going to fit the clutch wheel, also known as the cannon pinion. A little droplet of oil on that to allow it to turn around. And we've got the sliding pinion here. That gets a little bit of grease where the yoke goes. Oops, that pinged off, as they do. There we go. And a little bit of grease on the surface that engages with the winding wheel. The winding pinion, not wheel. Here's the winding pinion. We've already put grease on this, so that's fine. Next, I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the stem. go. Now I'm going to secure the setting lever. To secure the setting lever, I'll have to lift the movement up and secure it from the setting lever screw on the other side. This comes in here, so, and voila, the setting lever screw is screwed in from this side and secures the setting lever. Setting lever will engage with the yoke, like so, moving the sliding pinion upwards, allowing the sliding pinion to engage with the winding pinion. And for it to move back, we have this spring. In like so. Some of you might have noticed that the crown is different, and that is correct. The old plated crown was very worn and did not look very nice, plus the rubber was disintegrated, so I've gotten a new generic crown on this. Kind of a nice thing working with a watch that is not of particular high value is that you're not too fussy about an original crown or not, as well, the old crown was poop anyway. Actually, while we're here, we can see the old crown here. Nice design. If I had new ones, plated or not, I would have used it, but I don't, and I'm not going to start looking for that. I'm just happy with this crown I'm used here. Same one I've used on the other one with good effect. Anyway, back to this. Here's the setting lever spring. As you might have noticed in the taking apart video, the one for this watch was broken. Luckily, I had a stash of parts, and in that stash of parts, I had an extra setting lever spring. Here's the old one that was broken off, and the part of the other part. So yep, now we've got a new spring in here, which will help. So the other thing it really does is to hold when you're winding, it holds it in position like that, so it doesn't just slide back. So you could still wind it by holding it out, but much nicer like this. Put a little bit of grease in where the setting lever spring engages with the setting lever to allow it to move smoothly. Nice. We also have a tiny little cover that comes on here to hold the intermediate hour wheel in place, and the winding pinion. So there we go. We'll wind, and that's not engaging correctly. What have I done wrong? It's not going down as much. Maybe I suspect I've put the yoke in the wrong way, so I'm just quickly going to correct that. Put it in the correct way. Let the yoke spring's pinging off. Turn that around. You may forgive me for doing so. It doesn't really, it's very similar on both sides, but okay, I've got to take the spring out as well. There we go, let's see for now. Now it winds nicely. I put the yoke in the wrong way. That feels a lot smoother and better. Excellent. Let's turn this around. the next thing to do is fit the pallet. Take this off, by the way. Fit the pallet and secure it, and then we will put the balance back in and see if it will run. Alright, I'm going to look under the microscope, make sure I don't break the pivot. Now the watch is fully wound and the pallet is oiled, the gear train is oiled, the setting and winding mechanism is oiled. Let's see how this watch performs. I would suspect if anything was to be a good indication of how these would perform when new, this would be, because this movement is in very good condition. Nice, we have a ticking watch. Let's secure the balance cup. So, very nice. Now we can pop this on the time graph and see how it does. After a lot of adjusting and back and forth and up and down with the hairspring, it's now adjusting it to go a little bit slow, because in the positional variation it does gain a bit, so it's to kind of balance it. It's not a chronometer, it's not a COSC, it is what it is. So -4, -6, dial down. And you'll see in a sec why I've adjusted it to go a little bit slow. Just dial up position now. Again, about -6. The reason I've adjusted it like this is because when you're actually wearing it, and it will be on your arm, so dial up position. It's going to start gaining. So +6 seconds, turn around, dial down position. So when you're walking, that's probably default position, +23. So I think with this variations, we'll be able to keep within 15, 10 to 20 seconds a day, hopefully, maybe 30, depending on how active you are and what you do. But again, not a chronometer performing watch, but accurate enough for what it is. Now that we've adjusted it and sorted the hairspring out, I'm very happy to put the dial and hands back on. Movement has been cased and yeah, timed, tidied up, serviced, cleaned, whatever you want to say. It's nothing, that blows you away in terms of quality, but it's a nice, robust movement with good finishes and accurate enough. I reckon it will keep within 20 seconds a day, which is good enough for me on something like this. Got to remember it's over 50 years old, and yeah, some different features like the click on the crown wheel rather than the click wheel or the ratchet wheel, and got that little loose jewel underneath the center wheel. So yeah, some different features. It's cool that it's all made in Germany. I know Dugena, I think it's, what is it, Surf Diver or something, I can't remember the name, but they have the Bifora 115 movement in the same case, but stainless steel. So I've never seen a Bifora with a stainless steel, but I've seen a Dugena with it. So maybe a step up in terms of quality, but this is, well, it's an in-house, well, movement anyway. I'm sure they probably sourced the case from somewhere else, but it's you know, pretty cool for what it is. So let's get the case back on. We can turn this around and let's set the hands in a nice way, like so. Look at that. Very nice. That's why I like this watch. Super cool design. And now with this bezel and a new crown and everything, it just looks fantastic. I love those hands, the blued hands, the starburst silver dial. Really, really cool. It's gonna look nice next to the other one. Got it on this nice dark brown strap. It goes really well with the white dial, I think. Really like the faded bezel effect together with the silver starburst dial and the blued hands. I suspect the hands were probably delivered with the luminous compound to Bifora. I doubt they made them themselves, so that's why the compound is aged differently. But yeah, super happy with that. It's a really cool watch. And then because, you know, a bit naff today, I got this on the other side. Well, rather than have it in my pocket. So yeah, cool matching couple. Very happy with that. Okay, hope you enjoyed that video. Until next time, have a good one.